Welcome everybody. You can stay laying down or you can sit or kneel, however you're most comfortable. Once you've got yourself situated, close your eyes. Right. You woke up this morning and you opened your eyes and you've been using them ever since. So we're just going to turn those off. And then you started using your hands and you've been using those all day. So put your hands to rest. You've been moving and doing, I'm sure, so become still. And then we've been thinking, that constant stream of words inside the head. Memories, predictions, calculations, analyzation. Let's quiet the chatter by turning up sensation, moving away from words and into pure perception. What do you hear? No, don't label what you hear. Just listen to it. Become aware of your natural breath and the movement in your belly and your ribs. As you notice the air moving in and out of your body, is there any scent in the air? Again, don't label the scent, just smell it. Fit your tongue to the roof of your mouth and relax your jaw. Is there any lingering taste on your tongue? Feel the air and your clothes against your skin. Feel the floor beneath your body and the space around it. And the space is moving in and out of your body. Maybe you notice that your awareness has become entangled in a memory. And so you let it go and you come back to anything happening right now. Next thing you realize is that your awareness has gone into the future and it's thinking about something that may or may not ever happen. And you let that go and you come back to the present. What you're doing is actually training your awareness to let go of what it thinks it knows and come back to what is. We're going to lengthen the breath now. Let's breathe for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again. And out. Three more. Two more. Last time. Close your right nostril and breathe in and out your left. Close the left, breathe in and out the right. Nadi Sodhana, side to side, in the left. Out the right. In the right. And out the left. Keep going. In the left, breathing so fine that it makes no sound. In order to do that, you have to relax your throat. Out the right. You have to relax your soft palate and your sinuses and your nostrils. In the right. Out the left. As the breath comes in, the energy flows down to the tailbone. As the breath leaves, the energy goes up to the crown of the head. Breathing in is apana, downward flowing energy. Breathing out is prana, ascending energy. Give your nose a little wiggle. Breathe in through both nostrils. And out through both nostrils. Invocation to Ganesh. You can join me or you can just listen. It's up to you. Inhale. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Kuti Surya Samabrapa Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada All right. Make your way into child's pose. Coming onto your hands and your knees. You can have your knees as close together or as far apart as you like. Push your hips back onto your heels. Rest your head on the floor or a block. Taking the breath in, make your arms as straight as you can. Push some energy up through your fingers. Exhale, use your arms to push your hips back. Fill your belly and stretch your lower back. Relax, put your elbows down. Take the breath in. And let it out. Inhale up to your hands and your knees. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Inhale, cow, belly down, look forward. Exhale, cat, pull your belly in, bring your chin to your chest. Cow again, curl your toes under, lift your tailbone. Cat, untuck your toes, point your tailbone at the mat. One more time, inhale, cow. This time, exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your right knee and flip your foot over so your toenails are on the floor. Exhale, straighten your leg, pushing your heel down. Inhale, bend your left knee, flip the foot over. Exhale and straighten it. Inhale, both heels up. Turn them out and push them back down. Inhale, high plank. Bring your shoulders over your hands. Push your hands into the mat and flex your chest. Pull your belly in and press your heels toward the back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale back to downward dog. Inhale, bend both knees. Exhale, straighten your legs. Heels out like before. Good. High plank. Down dog. Bending your knees, push your chest back towards your thighs. Straighten your legs. Take the breath in. Exhale and walk your feet up to the front of your mat. When you get there, inhale to a flat back, chest parallel with the mat. Exhale and fold into ragdoll. Separate your feet. Bend your knees and drop your head. Inhale, swing to the left or the right as far as you can. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the other side. Exhale, center. If you're swinging left, straighten your right knee and vice versa. Center. Last time, other side. Center. Flat back. Push your bum back and lengthen your low back. Press the top of your head forward. Extend your upper back. Pull your belly in to support your back. And with a straight spine, stand up. Lift your arms out and up using your lats and letting your traps slide down your back. Push your feet down and reach up. Lean to the left. Empty your breath. Center. And over to the right. Center. Hands behind your head. Pull your elbows back and your shoulder blades together. Lift your chin and breathe into the bottom of your lungs. And out. One more time. Make your bottom ribs move. And let it out. Reach your arms out wide. Lift your heels. Hold and take the breath in. Heels down, arms behind your back. Roll your shoulders back and lift your chin. Press your pelvis forward and breathe in. Fold forward with an open chest. Bend your knees. Lower your head. Lift your arms as high as you can. Release your hands to the mat. Inhale, flat back, hips back, head forward. Step into high plank. Move forward onto your tiptoes. Bring your knees, chin, and chest to the ground. Push your tailbone up toward the ceiling. Slide forward into cobra pose. Put your hips down and lift your breastbone. Hands under your elbows. Tops of the feet flat. Push your diaphragm out and breathe in. Lay back down, breathing out. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward dog. Breathe in. Exhale and bring your feet together. Lift your right leg up to the ceiling. Stack your right hip on top of your left. Keep your shoulders square with the floor and see if you can go up anymore. Lunge, right foot, right thumb. Left knee down, arms out and up, just like standing up. Sink into your hips. Lift your rib cage and pull your spine apart, make space, and then lean back until you feel the vertebrae bump into each other. Hands to the mat, step forward and bow, breathing out. Stand up, arms up, hips forward, lean back. Fold at your hips, bend your knees, grab your legs, squeeze. Flat back, hips back, head forward. Left foot back to the lunge. Left knee down, arms up. Hands on the mat, right foot back, high plank. Shift forward, knees, chin, chest. Cobra, take a breath. Downward dog, breathing out. Inhale. Exhale, feet together. Left leg up. Open it up. Don't lean to the right. Go straight up toward the ceiling. Lunge, left foot. Left thumb. Right knee down. Arms up. Breathe out. In. Out. One more. Hands on the floor. Step forward and bow. All the air out. Tadasana, mountain. Stand up. Arms up. Fold forward. Uttanasana. Halfway up. Ardha. Uttanasana. Right foot back to the lunge. Right knee down. Arms up. Kapiyasana. Hands to the mat, left foot back, high plank. Shift forward, knees, chin, chest. Cobra, take a breath. Down dog, breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Feel your hands. Feel your feet. Bend your knees real deep and look at your hands. Jump to your thumbs. Flat back. Fold. Big toes together, heels apart. Stand up. Arms up. Utkatasana, bend your knees. Arms forward, palms face the mat. Okay, spread out your toes. Spread out the bones that you can feel in the balls of your feet. And then lift your heels. Okay, now see if you can bend your knees more and lift your heels higher. Squeeze your legs together. Use your hip flexors. Heels down, fold forward, breathe out. Flat back, hips back, head forward. Step into high plank. Shift forward and look forward. Low plank. Stop halfway down and open your chest. Upward dog. Straightening your arms, open your chest more. Knees off the floor. Take the breath in, roll over your toes, and back to downward dog. Right leg up to the ceiling. Right foot lunge. Crescent lunge. Bring your hands to your hips. Right? And feel how your pelvis is tilted back, okay? Because this is relaxed, right? It's relaxed because most of us don't use this all day while we're sitting in chairs. The only time we ever use it is if we cough or sneeze, right? So I want you to use it, right? Bend your left knee and then pull up in the front so your tailbone drops down. Okay, now keep that and take your arms back up. Okay, so this is the center, right, where you pulled in. We're going to move away from that center by straightening the left leg and leaning forward like this. Okay. Now hold that in and twist to the right. Most of us, when we twist, as soon as the elbow touches the leg, the belly drops, right? Because now the arms will hold us up. Don't let the belly drop. Keep it in and up. Pull your right shoulder back. And bend your right knee as deep as you can. Keep breathing. And let the breath move in the abdomen. Let it massage the guts and the organs. Bridget, that way. No, your feet were right. Just your upper body. Turn that way. There you go. Okay? Warrior 2, turning your left toes out, reach your arms front to back. Okay. Now, you do want to line up your feet, and you want to line up your hands, right? And because of that, I always thought of it like two parallel lines, right? But I'd rather you think about it like an X. So if you're going to bend your right knee more, then you reach back with your left hand at the same time. Okay? If you're going to push with your left foot, then reach with your right hand at the same time. Okay? Now you're breathing into the center of that X and then trying to move that energy out through those simple lines. If it's feeling stuck in your hip, move it a little bit. If it's your knee, move it. If it's your toes, move it. Until the energy moves through it and it doesn't feel like it's meeting resistance. Okay? Flip your front palm and reverse your warrior. Right arm up, left arm down. Okay? Now, you reached up and that belly dropped again, right? Pull it back in. Keep the tailbone down. And bend your right knee as deep as you can. Okay. Out. We're going to slowly come into side angle. And as you do, I want you to reach your right arm forward and bend your right knee as deep as you can. Keep reaching forward. When you can't reach forward anymore, bring your hand down. It doesn't have to touch the ground. Mine isn't touching the ground. Yours might touch the ground. But let it land where it lands. Christine, see how this is bent? Try to straighten that out. Yep. Good. Push down with your right big toe and straighten your right leg into triangle. Right? So you want the right thigh bone turning in so that the head of the femur slides back past the hip socket. Use your left obliques to support your spine so you're not bending toward the floor. Use your neck. Don't let your head drop to the side. Okay. Pyramid pose. Close your left hip, turning onto the ball of the foot, and fold over your right leg, bringing your hands to the floor. If the floor is too far away, that's what blocks are for. Put your hands on your blocks. Okay. Bring your head towards your knee, and the first thing that hits is your lower belly and the top of your thigh, right? So try to pull your belly in, make some room, and then see if you can touch your ribs to your thigh. Stay like that, or walk your hands towards the front of your mat. See if you can make your upper body longer, and you might be able to get your chest to touch your thigh. Okay. Now, keep pushing back with your legs. Bring your chest up to make a flat back. And with a straight spine, reach your right hand high, twisting triangle. Oh, you got one. Good. Mm-hmm. Nice work, everybody. See if you can pull your head forward and straighten your thoracic spine between your shoulder blades. Right hand down. Step back. High plank. Shift forward. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Left leg up. Left foot lunge. Crescent lunge. Right? So bringing the hands to your hips just makes it easier to feel the pelvis moving. Right? Once you can feel it, you don't need your hands to do it. See? You just tighten up the front. Think like you're about to snap a really tight pair of pants. Right? Now, hold that spot. Bring your hands together at your chest. Straighten your right leg and lean forward simultaneously. Good. Turning around center, twist to the left. Right elbow to left thigh. Okay, then don't let your belly drop. Okay? Pull your left shoulder back. Bend your left knee as deep as it'll go. Good. Take a big breath in. Exhale to warrior two. Look straight ahead. Right? You look at your feet because all day long you look around to tell yourself where you are, right? Look at one thing, or better yet, just close your eyes altogether. Let's just take away the temptation. Right? Now just feel your feet and kind of wiggle your feet on the floor a little bit. Do your heels feel like they're lined up? Right? Let all your nerves be like thousands of eyes. Are your fingers lined up? Yeah. Okay. Now, open up your eyes, flip your front palm, and reverse your warrior. And even though you're looking up, do just as much feeling. Let your eyes glaze over. Forget what you actually see with your eyes. Perceive from the body the sensations that arise. All day long, the words, the chatter, right? The body doesn't speak with words. It speaks with sensations. Listen. Side angle lunge. Reach out and bend into the hip. Get as long as you can as you bring your left hand down. Sink down as low as you can. Push down with your left big toe. Inward rotation of the thigh bone. Straighten your left leg into triangle. Right. You may find that it feels like your feet are too close together. Well, move them further apart. Just don't go so far that you hyperextend your left knee. Pyramid pose. Both hands down. Hips square with the ground, right? So turn your right toes forward. It's okay if your right heel's off the mat. Nothing wrong with that. Everything moves in waves in this universe. Everything ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys. Right? It's the same with your body. If you just push and then don't ebb off, you're only going to get so far. Like watch. If you lift, right now you're pushing both heels down and straightening both legs, right? Lift both heels. Bend both knees. Good. Now straighten your legs again and feel how much different it feels. Right? You have to let things flow. Okay, now keep pushing your sit bones back. Bring your chest up. Make your flat back. Maybe your left hand's on a block. It's just an extension of the floor. Reach your left arm high. Right hand down, left hand high. Right hand down, left hand high. There we go. Right? Now, what makes this pose so difficult, right? It's intense, but why is it so intense? Because you're asking your body to move in every direction simultaneously. Your hips are going back, your head's going forward. Your right hand's pushing down and your left hand's reaching up. Right? Try to feel all those directions at once, not just one at a time. Both hands on the mat. Step back, high plank. Shift forward, look forward. Low plank, open your chest. Think of it as an upside down bench press, right? Up dog, open your chest more. Down dog, breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. Bend your knees. Look front. Jump. Flat back. Fold. Stand up. Arms up. Utkatasana. Sit. Take a breath with your chest. Fold. Arms around your legs. Squeeze. Flat back. Filling up. Step or jump. Low push-up. Up dog. In. Down dog out. Right leg up. Right foot lunge. Crescent lunge. Warrior two. Reverse. Breathe in. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, triangle. Exhale, pyramid. Flat back, breathe in. Low plank, maybe with your right foot off the mat. Up dog, in. Down dog out. Left leg high. Left foot lunge. Crescent lunge. Warrior two. Reverse. Side angle. Triangle. Pyramid. Flat back. Low plank, maybe with your left foot off the mat. Up dog in. Down dog out. Take a deep breath. You can hold down dog. You could drop your elbows down into dolphin pose. You could drop your knees down to child's pose. Or you can work on your headstand. Let's all regroup together back in child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bend your knees, look front. Walk or jump. Flat back. Fold. Stand up. Arms up. Bring your hands together at your chest. Close your eyes. Feel your feet. Are you favoring one foot over the other? Are you leaning forward or sitting back? Try to find even pressure, left to right and front to back. Stamastitihi, equal standing. Good. Open your eyes and set your focus. Try to avoid reaching down and grabbing your foot. Come into tree. Place your right foot against your ankle, calf, or inner thigh. Squeeze your foot and your leg together, center. Arms anywhere you want. Good. You sure you got your balance? All right, close your eyes and see how long you can hold it. Hands to heart, feet on ground. Take a breath in. Let it out. Open your eyes and focus. Place your left foot against your ankle, calf, or inner thigh. If you just push your foot into your leg, your hips go out of alignment. Right? Squeeze them together, center. Put your arms wherever. And if you really want to challenge your balance, close your eyes. Hands to heart. Feet to ground. Take the breath in. Arms down. Arms up. Look up. Bow forward. Breathe out. Flat back. High plank. Shift forward. And come down slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, lay down. Bring your arms straight down so nothing's holding you up. Turn your head to the left. Take 5 breaths. Turn your head to the right. There's this great book called Thinking Fast and Thinking Slow. And in this book, it basically talks about how the brain works and operates. And I always refer to it as System 1 and System 2. Although I think Dr. Seuss's Thing 1 and Thing 2 might be more appropriate. Reach your right arm out to the right. Turn your head to the left. And roll to the right, opening up the right side of your chest. So, System 1, 2 is essentially memory. Memory is always quick to respond, to tell you, based on any current set of stimulation through your senses, how that compares to all your previous experiences. Your memories are full of biases. And your knowledge is never complete. And so you're operating from this flawed system. And most of us tend to treat that like it's truth. Roll back to center. And take it over onto your left shoulder. Take your time, no rush. System 2 is your higher cognitive function. It's slower to respond. And its purpose is to check System 1 for bias, to see if it's actually accurate. The problem with System 2 is that it's like any other muscle. You have to exercise it often to make it functional. If you don't, it kind of atrophies and just defers to System 1 and says, what did System 1 say? Ah, yeah, that's good enough. Let's just do that again, which is how most people operate throughout the course of their day. Roll back to center. So the example I always give, if you're kind of unclear as to System 1 and System 2, let me ask you this. Roses are they? But you see, that came out of System 1. As soon as I said roses are, your brain went red. But roses are also yellow and pink and white, so it's incomplete, it's flawed, it's biased. Right? Now, if I say to you, violets are, no, they're not. They're purple. They're violet, right? So if you had taken the time to realize that I was trying to trick you, and answered violet instead of blue, which blue comes from System 1. If you had answered me violet, you would have had to use System 2 to come up with that answer. Here, let me ask you another question. Can you ever step into the same river twice? The water's always moving. You can't step into the same river twice. So in order to answer that right, you would have had to use System 2. But System 1 gave you an answer that seemed plausible, so System 2 just went, oh, do what System 1 said. You see how that works? Okay. Arms down, palms against the ground, preparing for locust. Press your hands and your hips into the mat. That's your platform. That's where you're rooting down. Lift your chest and your legs. Okay. The mistake I always see people making is trying to go higher. Don't go higher. Try to get longer. Straighten your legs. Right? Pull your shoulder blades together and press the top of your head forward. That's it. Nice, Christine. Good work. Lower it down. So normally, what's so great about teaching you with Sanskrit is that you don't have anything in System 1. So when I say something like Satya or Brahmacharya, nothing comes to memory, from memory. You get this blank slate, which allows me to explain to you, I get to construct this new concept in your brain around that word. But it doesn't always work, right? Because if I say karma, right? Karma is no longer a Sanskrit word. It's also an English word, right? You already have something in memory around what that word means. Bend your knees. Grab hold of your ankles or your feet. Look forward. Okay. Push up with your big toes. Use the strength of your legs. Keep your bottom rib on the floor, Tess. And try to lift your pelvis in the back instead. Pull up the back. Yes. Now don't drop your head. Keep looking forward. Nice job, everybody. Come back down with control. Swish your feet side to side to loosen up your low back. You can let go of your feet. I always know when I found a good question, because when I ask it, the person's face goes blank. A good question has no ready answer in memory already. A good question makes you think, makes you consider, makes you ponder. And through that, you have insight. You get epiphany, which doesn't come from thought. Okay? Roll over onto your back. Bend your knees, place your feet flat. Turn your big toes in just one tick, just a little bit, and then lift your hips into bridge. Lydia, use your block and put it underneath your hips and let it hold you up and let your spine traction off the block. It'll be, trust me, you don't have to go super high, but it'll be good for your back. Christine, can you turn your fingers out anymore? Yeah, there you go. Now that's going to give you a little more room in your shoulders. Nice. Lower yourself back down. Pulling your navel down, press the curve of your lower back to the ground. So what does karma mean? What's in your memory? Go on, don't be shy. Nobody wants to answer me. Karma's a bitch if you are. That's in there somewhere, I guarantee. The word literally just means action. Bridge again, or wheel instead. For wheel, put your hands beside your head, fingers pointed at your shoulders. And then push down with your feet to lift your hips like bridge. Push your hands into the floor, lift your shoulders and maybe your head. Turn your big toes in again. Use your thighs more than your glutes. Yeah, get it? Lower it back down. Karma is kind of like that thing in science that says for every action there must be an equal and opposite reaction. Bring the soles of your feet together and your knees out wide. The yogis say karma happens when we act selfishly. We look at the world and we have this experience of duality, of subject and object. Like I'm sitting here and you're sitting over there, and there's space between us, and I end where my skin ends, and you begin where your skin is, right? Yoga teaches us that this is a flawed view of reality. It's a true and real experience, but it's also true and real that if you close your eyes and become still, you can't tell where you end and everything else begins. So, karma happens when we act believing that we're an individual, right? So we act as an ego, selfishly, to satisfy our own selfish desires. And when we act selfishly, that creates this ripple through our consciousness that reverberates and has to be canceled out. You have to then experience the same, you have to be on the other end of it. You have to experience that same selfishness on the receiving end. And through those counteraction and counteraction, we learn why not to be selfish. So, if we act for the good of the whole, unselfishly, then there is no karma. It's karma-free action. Bring your knees together. Bring your knees into your chest. Make some circles around your tailbone. Make sure you reverse directions after a few. Now let's assume that you've got all these selfish actions and all these ripples that need to come back to you, and you die before they have a chance to. Well, then the yogis would say that's why you transmigrate. That's why you reincarnate. You have to come back and have another life so that these ripples can play themselves out. Blissful baby. Separate your knees. Pull your knees down. Any resistance you feel in your hips, that's exactly what you're trying to let go of. So, this was always one of the big holes in the whole theory of reincarnation and karma to me, is if the whole reason was for us to learn, then wouldn't it be a whole lot more effective if I remembered the shit I did in my last life when I came into this one? But we don't. We forget. Why? That seemed like a big flaw in the theory to me. The flaw is not in the theory. The flaw is in my perception and the way I'm looking at it. I'm still thinking as an ego. I'm still thinking that Jordan Lashley needs to be born again. No. Jordan Lashley dies with this body. That ego ends when this brain dies and that collection of memories goes away. Take your legs straight up to the ceiling. Slip your hands underneath your low back, and pushing with your elbows, lift your hips up off the mat and take your legs up over your head into plow. Alternately, you could slip a block underneath your hips and just hang out with your legs up in the air. That's fine too. We got to go back to our ocean wave analogy, right? The whole of the ocean is human consciousness. There's just a human consciousness. You're not a part of that, you are that, and so am I. And so you are like a wave in that ocean. Right now you have a form and a shape and a distinction, but eventually that wave is going to crash and go back into the whole of the ocean. And then a new wave will be formed out of the ocean, right? So I, myself, my ego doesn't get reincarnated. Right now, in this room, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 reincarnations of the same consciousness sharing this space together. You see? That's why we don't remember. Because when you get put into a new body and a new form, there's no contents in that brain. You have to build it up through experience. And the story of that experience is what we ultimately thinking that we are, right? We lose track of being the whole ocean. We start thinking as an ego. Take your legs straight up to the ceiling into shoulder stand. Don't bear the weight on your neck. Make sure it's on your elbows. If you do that right, you should feel your abdominal muscles really engage. Try to relax your throat and your forehead. Maybe even just close your eyes. Here's the thing. I don't think you need to concern yourself with karma. I don't think anyone should be concerning themselves during their life with what's going to happen when they're dead. If we just concern ourselves with living the best possible life that we can, it makes the whole thing with karma moot. You're not going to accrue karma if you're living the best possible life. You're going to take care of other people. You're going to be kind and generous. Why? Because it feels good. That's seriously one of the best things in life, is when you help a total stranger for no reason. Right? Doesn't that feel great? It releases these awesome chemicals into your brain. And it also releases those same chemicals into their brain, that person that you help out, that you're kind to. Those chemicals are so good that they're the same chemicals that your brain releases when you take the drug ecstasy. That should tell you something. You don't need to take drugs. You just got to care for each other. Bend your knees into your chest. Slowly lower your spine back to the ground. Extend your legs out as well. Legs together. Point your toes. Palms up against the sides of your thighs like a soldier at attention. Okay. Now, push it down with your elbows and lift into fish pose. Lift your chest up, and as your chest goes up, let your head go back. So you're trying to put the top of your head on the mat. Okay. You can stay with your legs straight. If you bend your knees and place your feet flat, you might find that's better for arcing your spine. If you lift your legs up to the ceiling, that'll really make you work your abdominal muscles more. If you take your arms off the floor, your spine is bearing all the weight, which, if you got a strong neck, is fine. It's just, it's your neck. Be careful. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Lay all the way back down. Bring your right knee into your right armpit. We talk about, human beings talk about good and evil. But aren't we really just talking about selfish and unselfish? Isn't that what evil is selfishness? Isn't that why so many people refer to our current president as evil, because he's incredibly selfish? Twist to the left. Reach your right arm out to the right. The only other thing that I've experienced that feels as good as helping other people is when you have a stroke of insight, when you have a eureka moment, when you're like, aha, right? Those two things. I've done so many things. I've hurt people. I've stolen. I've screwed people over. I've done all kinds of drugs. I've had crazy sex. No orgasm, no drug, nothing compares to the way you feel when you help somebody else or when you have an epiphany. Shouldn't that tell you that that's what this existence is all about? Come back to center. Bring your left knee into your chest, into your armpit, sorry. Go take the thigh outside the rib so you're getting the buttock more. And take your twist. I hear it all the time. It's in our very language. It's so very hard to speak inclusively, to speak of the wholeness of everything. We want to talk about, what's best for me, what's best for my family, for my country. All those things just divide us from each other. Why would my family be more important than anybody else's? After all, that family is just a whole bunch of other reincarnations of me. Come back to center. Bring both knees in. Bring your head to your knees. Squeeze yourself into a ball. Lay yourself out into Shavasana. Lay your legs out. Lay your arms down. Right? Shavasana means corpse pose, to lay as though you were dead, to become still. And in that stillness, to remember what it's like to be pure consciousness. And everything that's in this existence, right? Planets, stars, you, me, the ocean, cell phones, airplanes, Google, everything that is started as a dream in consciousness. And creativity brought that dream into being. Consider, as you lay here, how different things might be if every time anybody made a decision, they reminded themselves that there is no me, instead of thinking, what is the best thing for me? If that was the way everybody operated. If that was just the normal way of thinking about things. What would it be like if you had a yogi mechanic? You wouldn't be worried that he was going to rip you off. How would you feel giving your money to a yogi investment banker? I don't think I'd be nearly as afraid of a yogi police officer. I wonder what it would be like to follow a yogi leader. It seems like we're all just waiting for somebody else to do it. When everybody else gets on board, I'll do that. But how do we get from where we are now to there? We have to decide to do it. You and me. The world, life doesn't need to be this hard. We make it this hard. We do it to ourselves. By having a paradigm that's out of alignment with what's true. And so we suffer. People speak of waking up, becoming enlightened. All that is realizing this and letting it influence your actions and your choices. That's liberation from suffering. Not through a savior. Nobody else can do it for you. We all have to do it ourselves. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Move your fingers. Move your toes. Take your arms above your head and bend your knees. Roll onto your left side. Push yourself up to sitting. Bring your palms together. Bring your thumbs to the center of your forehead. Om Shrim Bhagavate Loka Samasa Sukhino Bhavantu. By way of acknowledgement that I am you and you are me. That's why we bow to each other. All right. Thanks for being here, everybody.